All right, I think we are about ready to start. It's only 11 after, so fashionably late for those coming long distances that need a little extra time to get here. So, welcome to the second annual Walter Day National High School and Collegiate Esports Awards Ceremony. No, and it's Walter's first one in appearance because last year he was on Zoom. I do think one of the first things I may do before next year is shorten that title a little bit because that is a mouthful. But it does say a lot about what we are here to do. We are here to elevate and celebrate not only high school esports now, but we are starting to bring in the college realm also. But this did start last year with a vision with Walter and I to bring attention to what our high school esports athletes are doing, because nowhere was there a national stage where that could happen and you could have that recognition. So congratulations to you, and we look forward to how this moves on in the future. So the first thing I want to do is I want to mention some of our sponsors, if it works. It worked before. All right. Can you see that up there now? All right. So several of our sponsors. It takes a lot to put this on, and I'm taking on some more help from people. But first and foremost, locally is our own esports club, the FHS Esports Club. A lot of them are in the front row. We are in our 4th year of existence. 3rd year of actual competition, and we're doing well, and I'm very proud of them. Also locally, we have Fairfield Media Center, who is helping to live stream this event, and Jason Strong up in the balcony. Thank you, Jason. As we go out a little bit further, we've got Meet Ottumwa from Ottumwa, Iowa, just 25 miles that way. We'll talk a little bit more about why they're here, but they are also special to us with some things that we've done in the last year, so we will hear from them. Thank you, Meet Ottumwa. Also located in Ottumwa is the International Video Game Hall of Fame. They are a big supporter of this. Without their help, a lot of the organization backstage would fall apart, and I would look really silly. And I look forward to what we can do in the future, too. So thank you to the Hall of Fame. Another big supporter is the Iowa High School Esports Association. With some of the people here on stage, I was privileged to be in on some of the ground floor with them, and they fully support us in honoring our high school students in the state and beyond. So for the IAHSEA, applause. They do not have a representative here tonight, but it is a big financial help for us with your awards. Gravity Gaming by Bytespeed from Moorhead, Minnesota. They helped us last year. They helped us this year. They are also providing some door prizes here at the end of the night, and I really appreciate everything they've done for us. They have helped our own local club with computers and things, and they've helped the association and setting up some of our tournaments and things. So they are huge supporters of Iowa esports, and they are trying to branch out across the nation. They've got some other hot spots, but anything I can do to help them too is really appreciated because they've done a lot for you and for us. Thank you, Bytespeed. And the last one that I would like to mention, it's a pretty obvious one, but the Walter Day Collection, and the head of that would be Walter Day. Without the conversation we had a couple years ago, without his past 40 years of experience and pioneering, we wouldn't be here today doing this. And thank you to Walter for his support, for his time in creating the trading cards and the awards. A lot of work goes into that. And I don't know what else to say other than thank you, Walter. So tonight, you're not going to hear me talk all night. We've got some other people you will hear from, some of the movers and shakers, some of the ambassadors as we try and grow this. This is our second year. Last year we honored, I think it was 58 cards, 4 states. This year we're up to 74 awards in 6 states. Some others are really close to joining us. I want to see this grow again. I want to be able to fill this auditorium, but we started small. You'll also find out as we talk about it later today, we did run our first tournament leading up to tonight to give a little more incentive to bring people here and another way to honor people. So thank you to everybody that helped with that. Thank you to those of you that came a ways. We've got Random Lake who came 6 hours to get here. So thank you. And we look forward to the 2nd annual tournament at the 3rd annual ceremony. So it is my honor at this time to just bring up for a few words the namesake for this ceremony. When I was in Wisconsin, I heard his name on the radio, and I had started the esports program here, and I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who Walter Day was, but I heard he was going to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game. And I thought, boy, I should really find out where he's at and who he is. Lo and behold, I get back from vacation, and he's throwing out a pitch at our high school game, and I find out he lives here in town in my backyard. He threw it out here in Fairfield. I then did get in touch with him through one of our coaches, and this is born from that, and it's been a great relationship. So I would like to invite up now to give a little talk about himself and some of the people up here, Walter Day.
Okay, is this working okay? All righty, so my name is Walter Day, that's true. So on September 16th, Guinness declared me the father of esports because of my 40-some years of really doing this, getting involved with video games. Because for the simple reason that I'm like you, I loved video games and I just couldn't stop playing them for a long time, and I promoted them, but I went past just playing video games for myself, and I became intrigued by other people and their accomplishments. So I started an organization called Twin Galaxies that honored people's contributions to the video game world and honored people's success and achievements, based on high scores and contest wins and so forth and so on. So that the Twin Galaxies organization I founded at an arcade in Ottumwa, Iowa, went on to become the crossroads of the video game age, and now is considered the birthplace of organized competitive esports. So it's a very interesting ride that I and all the people who have been associated with me have gone on over the years. And the reason that there's these people on the stage is because I want to impress upon you how much a part of history you are. Because 15, 20 years from now, some of you may be actually the people sitting up on the stage who are telling their memoirs of what they did to contribute to the growing, on-moving history of electronic gaming that's now called esports. Because this is a growing, perambulating sort of animal, this esports world. It's getting bigger, it's getting stronger, it's getting more robust, and each one of us is like a little cog in it, part of a big machine, watching it grow as it becomes more and more amazing as time goes on. So each of these gentlemen up here have played a historic role in the growth of esports, and that's why they're here, because they are as much a part of it as you who are actively involved in esports now are a part of it. You're all the same from my perspective. And so, should I introduce them?
Yes.
Okay, let me introduce these people to you. Should they talk or should I just...
No, we'll just introduce them.
Okay. Well, first of all, the most famous video game player in the world is Billy Mitchell. Billy Mitchell is the first perfect game on Pac-Man, and also the Donkey Kong World Champion, has been in many movies. Next to him is Steve Sanders, the first original King of Kong. He was the first person to go on record, I think, as the King of Kong, the Donkey Kong World Champion. And also, weren't you almost the first video game author?
One of.
Okay, one of the first video. How to win at Donkey Kong? Was that the title?
It's the Video Master's Guide.
The Video Master's Guide to Donkey Kong in 1982, correct?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
And beside him is David Reichelt of Simi Valley, California. And David Reichelt was a medic in Afghanistan in the Army. And when he got out of the Army, he came back and decided he wanted to design video games. And he designed 40 games that failed. Then finally he designed a game that became the record holder for the fastest, most downloads to 50 million downloads. It's called Color Switch. Everybody should pull out their phone and look up Color Switch and download it, because it's a major game, and David has been a tremendous sponsor and supporter of all things gaming. Beside him is Brian Koo. Brian Koo is one of the most famous gamers in the world, and he was also one of the stars of the movie King of Kong. He's a famous Donkey Kong competitor, and also got 13 world records and 16 world records in one day. So he's very profoundly, versed in the game and the world of classic gaming. Lonnie McDonald from Grandview, Missouri. He's one of our best ambassadors for classic gaming, because he has traveled to all 50 states and maybe even Canada too. Canada too? No, all 50. He's been to Australia and all 50 states playing the game called Joust in a tremendous promotion that got a lot of media attention and press and support from the public, where he would turn the score counter over at 10 million points. And he's done it on over 250 different machines spread across 50 different states. So he's a tremendously profound leader and a visionary in the gaming field. And beside him is Jerry Byram, who's the president of the International Video Game Hall of Fame. And when he's not masterminding the Hall of Fame, he's the lead singer in his own rock band too. So I mean, what the heck?
Thank you, Walter. Those are some of the people that Walter has known over the time that he's been the king of the video game world. Now some of the new up-and-comers that are at the continuation here. First, you may remember him if you watched the ceremony from last year, Nate Rodemeyer. He is on staff at Marshalltown Community College, and we'll talk a little bit more about him later. Next, we've got Allie Vandermeide. You might remember her from last year also. Those of you in the room remember her from our own state association. We've got other news about her that will come up later also. Mover and a shaker. Then we've got the current president of our state association, Christian Carper. And the last person we have up for you to meet is the executive director of Meet Ottumwa, Laura Carroll. We'll also hear from her in just a little bit too. So we've got two premier sponsors that we wish to recognize. The first one would be for Gravity Gaming by Bytespeed. They are a huge financial supporter of this ceremony, and because of a lot of their help, all of these awards are printed and given to you free of charge. So thank you to Bytespeed for their work in esports and helping us promote the ceremony. This is a copy of their award that they will be receiving, and they will also get about 50 copies of their individual card. So. The second one I wish to acknowledge is Meet Ottumwa and Laura Carroll. So if you'd come up and get your cards and your award, please. We'll also be hearing from her shortly. As we develop this ceremony this year, things evolve and change. Even on Thursday, Walter's like, hey, let's do this award. So we quick get that to the printer and things like that. But one of the categories that we are starting to look at is the Esports ambassador. They may do lots of different things. It might be traveling around, turning over the counter on Joust and things like that. But this next person that we're going to honor was the founder of the Iowa High School Esports Association. She was the first president of that association. Then when she left that role, she still stayed as a coach at Davenport Central, but then was a co-founder of the ISEA, which is the National Esports Association that a lot of the state associations are now a part of. And besides being the co-founder of that, she is also their first president. Allie Vandermeide. There it is. Oops, there's drop cards. Thank you very much. And I'll have you speak here. I asked Allie to say a little bit about her journey. Actually, I'll hold that for you. And very strong woman in esports, and we need more of them. So I'm turning the mic over to Allie.
Hello. Like John said, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm the founder and first president of the Iowa High School Esports Association. I'm also the founding member and the current president of the Interscholastic Esports Alliance. The ISEA is a collection of state-level organizations that are run by educators across the entire United States. Last year when I was in front of you all, I spoke about the need to pursue validity. What we do here across the entire state of Iowa and in all of scholastic esports leagues across the U.S. is both valid and worthy of celebration. To continue this pursuit of validity, today I wanted to speak a little bit about unity. We are here collectively celebrating all things scholastic esports has accomplished in the last year. We're doing this together. Educators across the United States have demonstrated our collective power over the last 2 years with the reversal of certain decisions by certain developers, but it only worked because we did it as one. We and our students must continue to work to create the best space for future generations. We know that what we are building today goes beyond the students in front of us, but to the students in front of them as well. This is why we must continue to be relentless in building a community that's focused on what's best for all kids, both now and in the future. Congratulations to everybody else who is being honored today, and to continue to success as we continue to go forward together.
Shake everybody's hand as you go back. Thank you. Yeah, need a mortar board. Next up, we're going to go back to Laura. Laura called me last year because they were trying to set up an esports tournament and was looking for some help. So I relied on some of my friends with the state association, and we put together a tournament in Ottumwa for Meet Ottumwa, and we called it Meet Ottumwa, Meet Your Destiny, because you were meeting your competition, you were meeting college recruiters, you were meeting Walter, you were meeting your destiny. So before we hand out the awards, if Laura wants to come up, please, and say just a couple words about that and maybe the plans for this next year.
Well, since John just stole half my speech, I will be brief and to the point. I had literally been in the executive director position at Meet Ottumwa for about a month when all the pieces starting to come together of how important it was for us as a Convention and Visitors Bureau to share the story of why video game history and esports all comes together in Southeast Iowa. Nobody knows that, nobody understands. So when I was able to talk to John about how can we make this happen, I guess at the beginning of this beautiful relationship that we were able to put on this event. And we actually, the only bad comment that was made of the entire thing was that it wasn't long enough and it wasn't older than high school. So it's my pleasure to tell this year that we're actually going to add another day and more college and adult tournaments. So it will promote the high school just like we have been, because we don't want to forget that. We don't want to forget where we started, because this is the important part for us. But now we're going to be able to add on a couple more layers. So more people in the community will talk about it. We'll invite other people to come, and we'll be able to spend days together learning all about each other and about the history that's been brought to us. So we'll look forward to seeing you in just a few months.
So at this time, if I don't break my microphone, at this time, I'm proud to announce that when we did that tournament, Walter came, met some of the students, and he said to each of the students that if you are the champion, we will create a trading card for you. So for our next awards, these are students that placed first at the Meet Ottumwa tournament. So if you are here and your name is announced, please come up the steps there, shake the hands of these people who have paved the way for you, and receive your award at the end here. The first title that we are going to honor is League of Legends. Connor Hawkins. Jeffrey Putnam.
Speech. Thumbs up.
I would like to add that in each of these packs, the students are getting 50 copies of their own card. They are getting a copy of the Meet Ottumwa card and a copy of the Bite Speed card. And also in there is a business card for our Pinball Legacy, which if you wish to order more cards, you can contact them to print those. Those are all printed at Frontline Printing here in Fairfield, where Walter also has his own collection of his cards. So thanks to them for their help, and that's what you'll find in there. Next one, Evie Messer. Next we have David Creer. And to do these cards is purely voluntary, and sometimes people don't have time or whatever. There is somebody here who doesn't have a card, but I do want to recognize him as being part of that team, and we will hear more from him later. But if you could please stand up. Dustin Phelps. Yeah, he does have hair. Billy likes your hair. The next title I wish to honor is Mario Kart. We did an individual tournament. And the champion, also from Fairfield High School, Dimitrios Petromeus. Thank you. We also had a Rocket League championship, but that was won by Wapello, so I do want to recognize them. And our Rocket League team did take second place to them, and a friendly rivalry was born through the association last year and that tournament, and it was really great. I guess you could say the one positive thing this year is that there's 2 divisions of Rocket League in our state this year, and they're in the other division. All right, there was one other title that we played that year, but from East High School in Waterloo, Iowa, Kahari Tennant. I would like to say, a little disclaimer, if I mispronounce names, I apologize. That's the worst part of this. I get the most nervous. Thank you, Laura. All right, now I want to move on to some of our esports ambassadors in the collegiate division, because like I said, things are starting to evolve, and we are looking at the college divisions, and hopefully next year we will have some titles to honor from the college levels also. But this year, to start us off, I'm going to bring up Nathan Rodemeyer. Go ahead. Shake hands, Nathan. Or don't shake hands. You can shake them when you're done. Nathan can explain why he's here, but he was the president. Like I said, he's moved on to Marshalltown. And we'll also honor one of his students, and then he also has a special presentation tonight. So go ahead, and I'll let you speak first.
All right. So a year ago at this very time, I stood on this stage as a high school coach and as the outgoing president of the Iowa High School Esports Association. And a full trip around the sun later, I am now the professor of esports, I suppose, at Marshalltown Community College. So I've bridged the gap from high school to collegiate. And that, at the last time when I was up here, I said it's been a true honor, an honor of my life, to be involved with esports at the high school level and to be a part of the league and to be a part of this growing movement. And there were some words that were shared last year by people like Billy and Walter about how you guys are here in this moment in history. You are making history by being here. And that has only continued to be true in these last 365 days. And so being able to move up to this level has been a whole other type of honor. And so it has allowed a lot of high school students to now see that there's a pathway for them to continue playing these games that they love and competing in college, which you couldn't even say in this state just a few short years ago. And so that has been incredible. And to see the growth of esports at both the high school level, you know, when I first joined with Williamsburg under the Iowa High School Esports Association, I think we were going strong at 6 schools. Last time I checked in with Christian, which was a couple weeks ago, I think that number was 93, right? 3.5 years, and the growth has been insane. And it's growing at the college level as well. So as part of that, my program, my team, was invited to come here today to put on a tournament. So the first thing I'd like to do is to recognize some of the people that are involved with my team, because I cannot do this alone. So first, I would like to have our head coach, Andrew Goforth, please take a stand. Andrew built the esports program at MCC from the ground up until I came on board. And ever since then, it's been him and I together making this wonderful, crazy thing happen. And we are so proud of what we've accomplished in a short amount of time and the opportunities that we've been able to provide for these young people to continue their passion for competitive gaming. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to have the entire MCC crew, as well as the MHS students that came here, please stand up. So one of the things that I've gotten to do as the professor of esports is teach people what it means to work in the industry rather than just playing competitively. And so there were a group of about 4 or 5 students from that program that ran the tournament from top to bottom today. Tournament organization, brackets, broadcasting, streaming, all of that. And it was really incredible to watch their leadership as they put on a wonderful tournament, no hiccups, any flaws, anything like that. Briefly, as part of that, I wanted to recognize the first, second, and third place winners from that tournament today. There were prizes involved, and they were told that they had to stick around for the award ceremony to receive their wonderful prize. And so we'd like to honor those people here today. So in third place, we have a player, and I didn't catch your first name, but your handle is Y, from Random Lake, Wisconsin, who plays an incredible Samus. So please come on up here and accept your prize. Awesome. So, what's your name? Tucker. Congratulations, Tucker. So, Y's name is Tucker. So, congratulations, Tucker. For Tucker's third place finish, he's getting a Nintendo Switch carrying case that he can use for his own hardware. So, that is fantastic.
Thank you.
The second place finisher in that tournament, so the grand finals were wild. The whole tournament was wild. The grand finals came back to an old hometown rivalry between two people that have played against each other in many different tournaments back in Marshalltown and across central Iowa. And so second place goes to Ezra Wise. So Ezra, please come on up here. Ezra has earned herself a Pro controller. Indeed. Had an amazing showing today, as well as all of our other competitors. Congratulations. And there you go. All right. And our first place finisher, our grand finalist, also a Marshalltown High School senior this year, Isak Rangel placed first today, so we'll bring Isak up. And Isak gets a pretty sweet prize. He gets to choose any Nintendo Switch title, and we will purchase it for him. So he'll be getting a brand new game here in the mail in a couple of weeks. Congratulations, Isak. Thank you. And there you go.
And if you can write down your address and stuff, and it'll help us identify what game you'd like, then we'll get that purchase for you.
Yep. Next is Amber, right? Okay.
Can you step in for 1 second?
You bet.
Also, he has earned his card for next year's ceremony as the tournament champion.
All right, I promise I'm almost done. So next, as being a part of this college program has been wild, and so I have two very special things that I'm very excited to share with you all. The first is that we're calling this the High School and Collegiate Awards, and so we hope in future years to be expanding our offerings to talk about the wonderful competitors at both the high school and collegiate level. That being said, there is a special individual that we would like to recognize tonight, not necessarily for earning a championship or anything of that nature, but just for the impact that this person has made. So back in October, we were privileged to have Walter come and speak at the Marshalltown Community College campus, and we had a huge number of high school guests there from all over the state, and it was fantastic. And one of the things that we did was we brought everybody to our arena, to the space where we play, and one of our students had created a mural on our whiteboard, and it featured Walter and some old arcade iconography, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, those sorts of things. And Walter was so moved by that he asked this student to digitize that mural so that it could be enshrined forever. And so that mural has been turned into its own card, and that card is being presented to Marshalltown Community College's very own Amber Lawther. So Amber, please come on up here. she has a, Andrew has it, if we can snag it real quick. If not, we can do it with the signing. Yeah. Congratulations, Amber. You will see Amber again next year, but I won't spoil the surprise. But she has another card coming next year. Awesome. And then the last thing, we talk about, these series of awards are for ambassadors in esports, and that is a wonderful title to hold. And again, the whole point of us working at the collegiate level is to find opportunities for our high schoolers to continue what they're doing at the next level. And so some of those high schoolers that will be continuing their college experience at the next level with Marshalltown Community College are sitting in these stands right now. And so I would like to, in just a moment, welcome those people that are in the audience to come on stage and stand as the first students that are currently serving or playing as part of a high school team that are onboarding and being signed on to Marshalltown Community College next year, symbolizing that bridge from high school to collegiate esports. So at this time, I need Dustin Phelps to come on up. As well as the 3 young men we signed in South Tama earlier this week. Please come on up, boys. As they come on up, we'd also like to welcome Coach Mike down, as well as Coach Goforth with the MCC jersey. Congratulations. So these young people are all going to be joining Marshalltown Community College next fall to play one of our various titles and continue their journey in esports from the high school space to the collegiate space. Now, after tonight's award ceremony is done, we will be doing a proper signing for Dustin as soon as we are done up in the Fairfield arena. So if anybody would like to stick around for that. But it is truly an honor for both of us to welcome the next generation of high school players to that collegiate space and continue this wonderful tradition that has been growing across our state and country for the last few years. So thank you very much. I will.
The next few honorees in the collegiate realm are unable to be here. They are from California, so we've added a new state there. The first person I'd like to mention is Donna Walters. Her card is actually being added to last year's series of cards because we had talked with her and she is an ambassador for esports, and we decided at that point we're going to open up that collegiate division, right, Walter? So there are 2 cards that are going into last year's series. The first one is for Donna. She formed the Cal State Esports Collective, which is now going to be kind of a collector's card because they are changing their name to the California Esports Collective. They were student leaders from several different campuses that came together as a board to help guide esports in California. So that is why Donna is getting her award, and that will be sent out to her. Also was this card for the Cal State Esports Collective, which again has been rebranded and will have a new name. She will have that card also for them. So congratulations to them. Her student leaders that are currently on her board are also getting cards as esports ambassadors and what they're doing to help lead the state of California on the college level. So Alex Endo, who is the VP of Education, I do believe. I have a hard time reading that on there. So Alex Endo. Kabir Singh Suri. Rachel Taylor. And lastly, Jason Fudgy Waffles Rupert. Make you hungry. We are also working with them. They'll be holding a big tournament, and Walter has agreed that for their tournament champions, we will also be doing cards for them, so they will be some of our first collegiate awards next year. Next, I'd like to bring up Jerry Byram from the International Video Game Hall of Fame. He is the president, and he'll give you a few words about the Hall of Fame, please.
Did you all hear that? Walter says no swear words.
He doesn't know video game players very well.
As if, come on. Welcome, y'all. Good to see you. You know, I think I see a bunch of new faces, right? Who all's brand new here this year? Yeah, awesome. Great, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. So as many have mentioned, I'm the president of the International Video Game Hall of Fame, and I know that sounds pretty impressive, and it is. But really, it's a collective, it's really a diverse collection of players and programmers and engineers and games and people in the industry, which I expect you folks to be part of here real soon. So, you know, we already have games in the Hall of Fame that we've inducted, like Minecraft and Halo and the creator of Halo and League of Legends, all things that you guys are part of. So the next step really is for y'all to get really good, become world champions, and someday you get to be in the Hall of Fame. And even more importantly and more impressive, you get to sit in these seats. So, and that's pretty cool. So I don't have a ton to say. Normally I do, but today I don't. I don't know why. But I will tell you a little story, though. I interviewed for a new job last year. So I've been in the tech industry for, oh gosh, a good share of my career. And I interviewed for a new job last June at Salmon's Financial in Des Moines. And I was interviewed not only by who would become my director, but by the team that would work for me. So 18 individuals on my team interviewed me, and the one thing that they really honed in on was on my resume, I had President of International Video Game Hall of Fame. They're like, what the heck is that? So we spent the interview time talking about work and career and so on, and then they really wanted to know all about gaming and what it was like when I was younger. And so I told them how I got kicked out of Twin Galaxies back in 1981, and I told them how I was banned for life, and now here I am, you know, doing what I do. So it's a pretty interesting story. But we tend to dwell, and they ask me all the time, who is Billy Mitchell? Matter of fact, there's a lot of fanboys on my team, and so I put them together. So they don't think I know him. They're like, you know Billy Mitchell? I said, yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'd say I know him. You know, so we do random phone calls with my team and put Billy on, and they tend to freak out. So it's kind of a big deal. So that's your next step. So I hope y'all understand the importance and how relative it is for you folks to come through this, and to understand the difference in what we went through as gamers back in the early 80s and even later through, and what you all are being presented with, the opportunities you have in the gaming world today that we never had. We never, ever, ever thought that we would go from high school to college being on a team that plays video games. It was unheard of, unreal. So you guys have a massive opportunity, and I suspect a lot of you will be in the tech space at some point, bringing value to large companies like Tesla and Microsoft and everybody else, and programming for Zoom and whoever else you decide to go with. But I look forward to you as you get older and becoming part of this group of friends that we have acquired over the years. So I would encourage you all to spend some time talking to some of these individuals up here, the knowledge that they have and the experiences that they've had over the years in their careers, not only in gaming, but in their professional life as well. Lonnie, he'll tell you stories all day about anything you want to hear, very vast experiences. David from Color Switch, I mean, the man is a wizard. Absolutely extremely intelligent, well-spoken, loves to talk about programming and gaming. I encourage you strongly, reach out a hand, introduce yourself, and have a conversation. Steve Sanders, Billy, and Walter, all the same thing. Professional careers way beyond gaming that bring a lot of insight and a lot of knowledge and a lot of experiences that you folks may be interested in or outside of gaming. So tap into these resources. Wonderful people, always here to support and encourage. And, you know, and again, without Walter, you know, banning me for life. Look at him, look at me. So as I'm done spinning yarns about the old days, I'll let y'all get back to your day. But again, thank you from the Hall of Fame. And again, I want to see you in there one of these days. So keep up the good work.
Moving on with a couple more of our ambassadors. Our first one, Lonnie McDonald, Esports Ambassador. In recognition of Lonnie McDonald's 10 years of leadership in the esports scene as an ambassador of competitive video game playing, who put electronic gaming on the international map through his Joust Odyssey, which saw him turn over the score counter to 10 million points on more than 250 arcade Joust machines. His accomplishment is considered one of the epic achievements of the modern classic arcade genre. We are honored to declare Lonnie McDonald as an international esports ambassador on behalf of the esports industry.
Great time, sir. Great time.
Thank you.
Can I say something?
Sure, go right ahead.
Thank you, Lonnie. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So I thought I'd take a little opportunity as part of the Hall of Fame and the U.S. National Video Game Team, and they've already mentioned it, but I look at you guys and I go, a team that plays esports at high school? I was like, wrestling, basketball, esports, and getting the potential to go to college on those. One of the things I do at the Hall of Fame is I am the director of inductee relations. And so all those people you see in the Hall of Fame, I get to be the person who calls them and says, guess what? You're inducted in the Hall of Fame. And I look at the paths that they've taken to get to where they're at. And, you know, Atari started 50 years ago, and we're pushing towards the next 50 years now, and there's no reason why you guys who have this advantage of being able to play on teams in high school and college can't get to the Hall of Fame really pretty soon. And as he said, if you want some stories, I've got some synergistic stories with Walter and with Steve Sanders and our relationships, but I appreciate being able to go out and play video games and promote the arcade and esports world. Thank you.
Our next honoree, recognized as video game visionary. In recognition of David Reichelt's visionary support in the esports industry, responsible for creating the mobile game Color Switch, which saw 50 million copies downloaded in the fastest time with more than 300 million copies downloaded to date, we are honored to declare David Reichelt a video game visionary on behalf of the esports industry. Thank you. At this time, I would like to have my esports club members please come up with me. Well, you could have come this way, I suppose, but. Nope. Any way you can get here.
That way, shake hands.
I would like to announce that several of the members here will be participating in our second state tournament finals coming up on March 3rd in Rocket League. So all of you guys come down here with me, please. We are taking it upon ourselves, especially with the relationship that we have forged with a couple people, to make a special honor and a special proclamation ourselves. So, today, on this day, Saturday, February 18th, 2023, Fairfield High School Auditorium in Fairfield, Iowa, in recognition of Walter Day's 40 years of pioneering competitive video game playing, we are honored to declare Walter Day the father of esports on behalf of the global esports industry. You bet.
This is a deep honor. Thank you very much. You know, there's this organization presenting this award is actually, you're like pioneering, and there's many places that declare me the father of esports, but you are among the first organizations that actually put it in writing. Guinness has done it, and the Pinball Expo has done it, and now you folks have done it. So you're like the leaders for the esports industry to declare me the father of esports, and I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
And at this time, we wish to make one more proclamation. On this day, Saturday, February 18th, 2023, Fairfield High School Auditorium in Fairfield, Iowa, in recognition of Billy Mitchell's 40 years of leadership in competitive video game playing, we are honored to declare Billy Mitchell the video game player of the 20th century on behalf of the global esports industry.
Never.
All right, thank you, guys. And now we'll hear a few words from Billy.
You stand there and hold this.
Sorry, these guys are all kind of short. Everybody here is a friend. I won't deny that. But as they were up here speaking, I thought the very first thing I was going to say, enough of the candy cane talk. I'm going to talk a little more aggressive here. I'm going to talk with the spirit that came out of me when I was at my first event. Remember something all the way through into the end when I'm done here. When somebody who has decades of experience and success is going to speak to you freely about it, sit up and pay attention. You won't be sorry. In 1982, it was the genesis of esports. The word esports wasn't even invented. It was competitive game playing. I traveled here to Iowa, and I actually traveled in fear because I walked in the door, and I even said to myself, I wonder if I even belong here. Well, at that event, and I say this, Every one of you belong here merely for the fact that you can show up here, merely that you have that gumption. I showed up at that event, and eventually I squared off at who would be considered the event favorite. I squared off, and I played him a game of Donkey Kong. He got 190,000, and in 1982, you get 190,000 in any arcade in the country, you would be the center of attention, and every eye in the arcade would be focused on you. And that's what he got. And I thought, it's showtime. He sat down next to me, and I hit the start button. And I got 849,000 on my first guy. I absolutely kicked his backside, and I gave him a shellacking that would last a lifetime. And you know what's beautiful about it? He's sitting here listening to me talk right now. Again, don't ever wonder if you belong there. Always remember where you began, when you first started playing. There's not a chance then that you could envision where you would be today. Not at all. The delayed gratification that you learn from video games is an aspect of life. Think about education. It's those same baby steps of playing games. It's those same baby steps that seem to mean nothing day to day. But at the end, when you finally reach the goal, when you graduate from high school, when you graduate from college, all of those baby steps came to create you the person that you are and the opportunity that you then have. That's absolutely something that I learned from video games. It's absolutely something that can take you anywhere. The lessons you learn, the passion you have for gaming will open up doors and avenues. Engineering, aviation, electronics, law, entrepreneurship. Games teach you that you have a problem in front of you that you have to solve. It's not going to go away. You have to find a way under, around it, over it. Gaming empowers you to the fact that you will not let obstacles stop you from moving forward. I'll bet not a single person here would raise their hand if I said, when did you encounter a problem in a game and you encountered it? It was so tough and so long, finally you shut the game off and you never played it again. You didn't. You persisted. It forms a part of your personality that's stubborn, that will not allow obstacles or challenges to remain in front of you for any period of time. What happens is, as you're playing, as you're sharing these experiences with people, always be very cautious. Because there's people, for their own shortcomings, who will downplay your success, that will belittle that which you achieve. It's like you want to separate yourself from people who want to play down your aspirations and what you think you're achieving. Remember that when you play, remember this. When I was running, I said I was going to run from the beach to where I live. It's a long, long run. And I said it to a group of people, and that was a mistake. Because all of them mocked me and laughed at me and said it couldn't be done. There was one guy in the group who was a runner. He's the only one who didn't mock me. Instead, the next day, when I got started, he was there next to me, and he ran it with me. The people who are qualified to judge you, they will never judge you. It's always somebody who is not qualified. You want to separate yourself from the naysayers. Absolutely. Again, these are the experiences that I've had. Now the fun stuff. When you're playing a game, when you get a breakthrough, when you get a milestone, something that you are looking to achieve. And I got to be careful here because this is esports and you're a team. But very much like baseball, it's a team effort, but it comes down to individual achievement. When you're looking for that breakthrough, it will never, ever, virtually ever, I think the guys here would agree, will it come when you're in a group and when you're having fun. You'll be by yourself, completely focused, with nothing else going around you. There's nothing fun about it. There's satisfaction in the hard work. The exception to that, I had a guy, his name was Chris Ira, and he and I would often work together because he was the only one who would work as hard as me, and I was the only one who would work as hard as him. He's equally deserving of everything that I have here. But absolutely, you'll hear people online say, oh, I remember Billy, he played at Grand Prix. It was the world's largest arcade. Oh, I remember that. I was part of the inner circle. There was no inner circle. There was me and Chris, period, end of paragraph. And all the breakthroughs we had, we were either alone or it was just he and I. Now, when we wanted to celebrate those breakthroughs, when we wanted to perform, when we wanted to take everything we learned and lay it out, okay, that was in the biggest, largest crowd under the most pressure possible. In 1982, I was in front of what was considered the 20 best players in the world at the time, and the cameras of Life magazine staring over my shoulder, and there wasn't one single game in the arcade being played. The pressure will absolutely force you into a tunnel vision, okay? The noise around you, the music, the lights, the people, none of it will come to affect you because you'll absolutely be laser focused on what it is you learned when you were in those alone moments. On my stream, I'll often play in the loudest, most obnoxious barcades there are. And people say, how do you do it? I do it because it's absolutely my advantage, without a doubt. I think I should take it easy now. But absolutely, don't ever doubt that every one of you belong here. And don't ever, ever let anybody judge you or try to steal your dreams from the hard work you put in and how it guides you into every other aspect of life. It'll absolutely come to benefit you. The milestones you create, I often say to people, I used to say, when I got a perfect score on Pac-Man, and then a friend of mine did, and another friend, we used to say that we were a club more exclusive than the living ex-presidents, and it was absolutely true. Don't ever, ever allow anybody negative to come into your circle because they haven't earned it like you have. That's all. No, not at all. Here's the last thing. I said when someone of outrageous success and experience is going to share it with you, sit up and pay attention. You thought I was talking about me. I appreciate the compliment and I'm flattered.
I probably wouldn't have started programming if it wasn't for video games, or wouldn't have been as interested in computers and technology if it wasn't for video games. So I think actually video games are a very powerful force for getting young kids interested in technology. It has way bigger knock-on effects than people may realize. And generally, like if we're interviewing somebody for a software engineering role at Tesla or SpaceX, many times they'll be like, how'd you start programming? It's like, oh, got into video games.
Are you going to believe the naysayers or are you going to believe Elon Musk? Every one of you guys. Oh boy, I forgot about the video games.
Bring this back down to my level. All right, the next person I would like to invite up is Christian Carper, the current IHSEA president.
As John said, my name is Christian Carper. I am a family consumer science teacher at West Delaware High School, Middle School. I'm the designated esports coordinator, head esports coach, and current president of the Iowa High School Esports Association. In 2019, this association was established by a group of educators driven to develop an organization to give students a way to pursue their passion for video games. They wanted an organization that created a safe, competitive environment that gave students a way to connect to their school, to their community, an organization that will give them a future after high school. In 2022, in June, I became the president. At that time, there was 51 teams as members for the association. As we've heard, that's grown a little bit. In 7 months, we have gotten to 94 schools. Just this last week, we got that last application. That is an 84% increase in 7 months. We've also established a tradition of having in-person state finals, and this is a tradition that was started by Nate Rodemeyer last year. In fall, in November, we had our very first fall finals. We crowned 4 state champions across 2 classes in 2 different titles. Coming up in this March, 3rd and 4th, we have our 2nd annual winter finals. And in this June, we'll have our very first spring finals. We are also proud to have 7 sponsors and partners join the association, providing resources and opportunities for our coaches and for our students. This incredible success and amazing growth is attributed to the wonderful leadership that we've had before my time. These individuals showed determination to pursue the things that they were passionate about themselves. They built a foundation for this association that was rooted in values and ethics that always had the students in mind. I would like to thank those individuals. Many of them are here today. John, Nate, Allie. They've shown me what leadership is. They've shown me why it's important to push to be more, to push to grow, to not be stagnant, to always want more. I thank them for being a role model, not just for myself, but for the entire esports community. So thank you. Tonight we're going to honor the teams that joined and competed for the first time in the Iowa High School Esports Association in the years 2021 and 2022. I want to thank them also for joining, for not only growing our association, for making our association better by bringing in their drive and their fire for competition, for wanting to face off head-to-head with students of their own caliber. Thank you. I also want to offer my own congratulations to everyone tonight. Your hard work, your determination has been seen. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. With that, we'll get to those schools who submitted their information as their first competitive season with the Iowa High School Esports Association last year. Our first award winner, Roland Story High School, Story City, Iowa. Again, there may be several that aren't here. As this grows, maybe we'll get more, but we're still going to honor them. Next, Abraham Lincoln High School, Council Bluffs, Iowa. Kennedy High School, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. South Tama County High School, Tama, Iowa. Come on up and get your award.
When I was making the cards, this was one of my favorite cards because I liked their logo a lot. The Trojans.
Picture time. Thank you very much. Here's another fairly local one, Lone Tree High School, Lone Tree, Iowa. Next we have Gilbert High School, Gilbert, Iowa. Woodward Granger High School, Woodward, Iowa. Clear Creek Amana High School, Tiffin, Iowa. Thomas Jefferson High School, Council Bluffs, Iowa. And that concludes our club awards for this year. Next year, there are going to be a lot of schools that I think started their first season this year, and hopefully they'll be here to accept their award next year. All right, next we have another ambassador of esports. This is our international ambassador of esports. You haven't seen him here. I'd say he's very good at camouflage, but that's not really the case. Due to some other circumstances, he was not able to be here. But we will still hear from him, and I will hold his award because he promises to pick it up in person. Probably next June. Recognized as an international esports ambassador, in recognition of Isaiah Triforce Johnson's 30 years of leadership in the esports scene, from creating his own esports team, Empire Arcadia, to other esports infrastructures throughout the United States, the Caribbean, and the African continent, we are honored to declare Isaiah Triforce Johnson an international esports ambassador on behalf of the esports industry. So now, if our tech works as I'm hoping, I'm going to stop sharing that. And we have Triforce here.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. I want to first apologize.
Hang on one second there, Triforce, while I get you up here a little bit better. Maybe there. All right, let's try that. He's not up on the screen there? Okay, maybe. Let me try this. Okay, we had this worked out before. Thank you for your patience. We always have something.
Take your time.
All right. Jason, do you have a suggestion there? Okay. Not sure why you're not on the big screen. Let's try this really quick here.
You lost them and they got them. What's that all about?
I don't know. We'll see. All right, so you can now see him? That's good because I can't.
Can you hear him?
All right, Triforce, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys.
All right, and we can hear you. So everybody
All
from
right.
Jamaica, Triforce Johnson.
Thank you, everybody, for having me. I want to first apologize. I'm sorry that I actually couldn't be there. This would be my first time traveling out of Jamaica since the start of the pandemic, and I really didn't get a chance to prepare due to some unforeseen circumstances, things that's out of my power. I'm not able to be there, but I do promise to come down later this year or next year for sure to definitely not only pick up my award, but to be there in person, which I call you guys the next generation for esports. I definitely want to thank everybody on the stage, from Walter Day to Billy Mitchell, Steve Sanders, Lonnie McDonald, Brian Koo, Jerry Byram, David Railcheck, Nathan Rodemeyer, Ali Vandermeer, Christian Carper, and Laura Carroll, and also John Goodwill. For having me to be able to even do this. I felt that it was the least that I could do, at least come on and share a few words with you guys in the history of esports and how important you guys are to the next stage, which is the revolution, the fourth generation of esports, because that's what you guys are going to be. And what you guys are going to do, what you're going to bring to the future of esports is going to be something greater than any of us here who laid the foundation has ever done. It's one thing to build something. It's so much harder to maintain it. And that is going to be what's entrusted to you guys, to maintain the esports infrastructure that was founded by Walter Day and helped build by what I considered, all you Mortal Kombat players, the elder gods. So you guys are Earthrealm's mightiest warriors, and you guys are here to lead the next generation for esports. It is important for you guys to understand your history and how important the state of Ottumwa, well, the state of Iowa, specifically Ottumwa, but the state of Iowa as a whole. You guys are literally the esports capital of the world. Don't let anybody tell you any different. This is engraved in history, and this ceremony right now is a part of that history. The elder god himself, the prime god, Walter Day, is truly the father of esports. Esports isn't competitive gaming. A lot of people need to understand the difference. Competitive gaming is natural. The first video game created, whether anyone wants to argue whether it's Noughts and Crosses, which is the electronic tic-tac-toe, or the CTR, doesn't matter, Pong, whatever, is all competitive in nature. But it wasn't until 1980, 1981, where that man sitting on that stage right there, Walter Day, decided to take competitive gaming and build an infrastructure around it to not only crown champions, create video game competitions, literally track the high scores, and celebrate those champions around the world, an entire organization dedicated to just doing that, not for the promotion of the actual video game itself or for some company for marketing or anything, but literally for the gamers themselves. He created that organization, Twin Galaxies, and that is the first esports organization in the world, certified by Guinness, by the way. And because of that, by proxy, his hard-earned work makes him the father of esports. He literally took competitive gaming and created an infrastructure to turn it into an actual sport. It's, if I need to give an analogy to this, the game of basketball was invented in 1889 by James Naismith, Canadian by the way. But the sport of basketball was created in the 1940s, the CBA, the ABA, and the NBA. So there goes your correlation. Video games was created in 1949, 1951. People can argue that. But the sport of video games was created in 1981 by that man, Walter Day, and his elder god groups of guys that actually helped him carry the torch to where we are now. And I consider myself Generation 2, and there's other guys that's Generation 3. But you guys are definitely the fourth generation moving forward. And you guys are going to be instrumental to where video games goes. It goes into its next stage, which is virtual reality. So anyone who's old like me, Billy and Walter, and the rest of the guys on the stage who watch Star Trek, The Next Generation, or if you're an X-Men fan, you guys know about the Danger Room and the holodeck. Video games will get to that level, especially the people who created Player One, the movie, and they said it was inspired by Walter Day. That's where video games is going to grow. And whether it's your generation or the generation after you, your children that gets it there, this maintenance will be on your hands. Our job is pretty much complete. We're all retired. Some of us still compete and play just because, you know, it's a part of us. This is where we grew up, but we really leave this to you guys. And I want to give a special thanks to Walter, Billy, everybody on stage, John, you two, for given me this opportunity to speak to the next generation. And I hope to see you guys later on this year. And I would love to see what you guys do 20 years from now, because look what these guys on the stage did 20, 40 years ago. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the award, John and Walter.
Thank you, Triforce, and I am sure, as well as some others, look forward to seeing you in person. Thank you.
Okay, John, can I ask one question? This
Yes.
is to the crowd out there. Is there any Tetris players in Iowa that would like to see a Tetris tournament?
I'm seeing 6 hands right now, 7, 8, 9. Boy, this is like auction. You got about 10, 15 people here.
All right. Well, let's try to make something like that happen, John.
All right.
I'd like to interject that Triforce actually is a significant major Tetris fan, champion actually. So Triforce, maybe you should organize something here when you come to Iowa, and crown a not only, since we have people from other states, crown a Midwest Tetris champion. Or maybe go national.
Yeah.
All right.
I look forward to it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, now to see if I can get back to my other stuff. I know I do. Go Tech Guy. Did that work? But I can't see it though. Oh, well, let me try the same magic I did before. You bet. Walter will talk to you for a second.
While he's doing that, I wanted to interject one thing. You know, you're beginning to realize now that these people up on the stage who have this long history, they're very aware that history seems to be the basic fabric of the gaming culture. And they're recognizing that you folks right now, even though this is the now, this is very soon going to be part of the past, and you're part of the history. And there's a person out there. So you guys are actually part of the historical procession of the video game age, the esports age. So be aware of that. There's one person in the crowd I want to point out who's very aware of that, who publishes old school gamer mag. Stand up, Ryan Berger. Ryan Berger's from Des Moines, and he publishes Old School Gamer magazine.
He's actually a Walter Day lookalike.
That's right. We can't tell each other apart sometimes. But essentially, do you have copies of your magazine available?
I have them.
Well, that's great. So you folks should actually look into the magazine and embrace it, because it's not too long before you'll be part of the history too and end up in its pages.
I think we're at the right spot. Okay. What's that? You don't have me? Let's try this once more. Believe me when I say this is better than last year with our technical difficulties. It just couldn't go perfectly. All right. And you guys can see it? Do you see Thomas Jefferson? All right, I think we're back. Thank you again, Triforce. All right. I had a slide here for our tournament winners, but we took care of that earlier. So congratulations on our tournament winners from the day. We look forward to increasing that again. All right, we now move to our state champions from across the United States. We have people sending stuff from California and Oklahoma, Nebraska. You'll see some of them here. So these are all state champions in their own states. So first, for Call of Duty and Halo, we've got Dixon Davis from Blair High School, Blair, Oklahoma. Kason Welch from Blair High School, Blair, Oklahoma. And I also believe they also won this year, so they'll be in again next year if they choose to be. Luke Weeks, Blair High School, Blair, Oklahoma. For the title Fortnite, we had a submission. Aaron Fry from Elk City High School, Elk City, Oklahoma. We had a Hearthstone submission. There's an old one for you. Nate Simmons is the coach from Louisville High School, Louisville, Nebraska. Because we also do honor the coaches with cards because they help you get to where you are at. They help open those doors and provide that. And his student, Terry Dilliard, Louisville High School, Louisville, Nebraska. For the title Mario Kart Team, Coach Jeremy Mahoney from Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. For those that are not here, we will be sending their awards to them in the mail. Connor Shelbourne, Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. One of the more popular submissions and titles for Overwatch. We have a coach from one of my old stomping grounds, so I've got a spot in my heart for this one. Benjamin Munn from Edgewood High School, Madison, Wisconsin. He also had students honored last year, so it's great to have a repeat. Matthew Goose Geezy from Edgewood High School, Madison, Wisconsin. Anselm Neville Rohde, Edgewood High School, Madison, Wisconsin. Jasper Kolaluka, Edgewood High School, Madison, Wisconsin. Angel Chamorro, Edgewood High School, Madison, Wisconsin. He's going to get one set of cards, but we have the coach again, Jeremy Mahoney from Platteville High School for Overwatch. And his Overwatch team, Tyler Menke, Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. Dylan Menke, Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. Chase Wink, Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. Ashton Lagasse, Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. And lastly, Annalise Becerra from Platteview High School, Platteview, Nebraska. And again, for those that may be watching on the stream, if I butcher your name, I apologize. The next title we are honoring, Paladins. And we have Colton Estes, Canute High School, Canute, Oklahoma. Trey Shelton, Canute High School, Canute, Oklahoma. Brant Pitzer, Canute High School, Canute, Oklahoma. Mason Hoffman, Canute High School, Canute, Oklahoma. Moving to our next title, Rocket League. Coach Caleb Murray from Elk City High School, Elk City, Oklahoma. Andrew Gordon, Elk City High School, Elk City, Oklahoma. Our next title is Smite. We have Logan Cook, Clinton High School, Clinton, Wisconsin. Coach Thomas Klett, Roland Story High School, Story City, Iowa. Braden Weston, Roland Story High School, Story City, Iowa. Derek Taylor, Roland City High School, Story City, Iowa. And Jake Sandry, Roland City High School, Story City, Iowa. Our next title, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Riley Robinson, Elkhorn High School, Elkhorn, Wisconsin. Michael Culp, Elkhorn High School, Elkhorn, Wisconsin. And now as the DJs say, we're going to slow it down a little. Coach Lee Itzen, Random Lake High School, Random Lake, Wisconsin. Once again, they traveled 6 hours to get here today to play in the tournament and be here for the ceremony. Thank you. Tyler Tischer, Random Lake High School, Random Lake, Wisconsin. Tyler didn't make the bus, did he? Jarek Konasek, right? Jarek Konasek, Random Lake High School, Random Lake, Wisconsin. Talon Jollification Wilterdink. It's always interesting for me too, because I never meet any of these guys or ladies until they get here, but I look at the cards enough, I start to recognize them when they walk in the door. So, Sutton Wilterdink, Random Lake High School, Random Lake, Wisconsin.
Thumbs up.
And our third place finisher in the tournament today and state champion in Smash, Tucker Hiller, Random Lake, Wisconsin. Yeah.
Was Tucker on more than one card?
No.
He came up here earlier to get his award from the prize. Yes. Congratulations. I'm glad you made it. Smile for the picture.
Yeah. Okay. And our last title of the night, Valorant. Coach Isaac Johnson, Apple Valley High School, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Michael Heron, Apple Valley High School, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Oh, I misspelled that on my slide. I did that on all of these. It's a good thing that's not on the card. Nate Junker, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Jack Hansen, Apple Valley High School, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Santiago Lala, Apple Valley High School, Apple Valley, Minnesota. And lastly, Henry Lee, Apple Valley High School, Apple Valley, Minnesota. And I do sincerely apologize to them that I had Missouri for their state. So that was my bad. But they are from Minnesota. And I'm very pleased to they were a new state this year. I'm pleased to bring them on. So, before we close for the night, I have a couple prizes. Last year, Bytespeed donated some prizes. They sent them out from Minnesota after the tournament. But tonight, as you came in, coaches and players, we asked you to put your name in a hat. We have 3 gaming backpacks from Bytespeed that we're going to give out tonight for those of you that made the trip. So our first winner is I'm thinking it's Jeffrey. Did you write your name twice?
I can't read my own handwriting, don't worry.
All right. There you go.
Thank you.
That is you, right?
That is me.
Not only do they get the backpack, it has a large mouse pad, it has a gaming mouse, a keyboard, and a headset in there also. Number 2, Carter Grego. Grego? And last but not least, everybody cross your fingers. David Creer. Thank you to everybody who has come here tonight. Thank you to everybody online. We do have one last thing, and we'll call Walter back up to the podium.
Oh, what am I supposed to say? Oh, yes. Okay.
I'm a musician now. Last night I gave my world premiere of music, where I sang my own original songs. And is this working okay? And that's where I'm going with my life. I'm a musician, I'm a singer-songwriter, and it's very dear to my heart. I've loved every minute, just about, every minute of being the father of esports or being the founder of this or the father of that. But where I'm going now is something that's bringing me even greater joy. So I am symbolically surrendering from being a leader of the video game age. And in that symbolic act, I'm going to take off this shirt and I'm going to present it to the Fairfield Esports organization to have as a relic to just preserve for history as I don a new outfit that I wore last night when I do music. And this is a very nice shirt, by the way. This was given to me by Old School Gamer Magazine, another plug for them. So your shirt that you gave me is going to be hanging on their wall. We'll have to get me a new shirt for the few times that I'm still going to be appearing different places. But essentially, before I do that, because I still need to have this shirt on, traditionally, through all the things I've ever organized, we always end with a group picture. So if this works for John and everybody else, I think the only way to really do it is, isn't it for everybody to come up here and face that way? Yeah. Does it make sense? So that's what we're going to do. If John has nothing further to say, we're going to do the group picture, and after the end of the group picture, I'm going to formally give my shirt to the Fairfield Esports organization. Other than that, thank you very much for all that you do, because you're planting the seeds for a lot of wonderful stuff that's going to grow and sprout and create more fun and more entertainment and more education for the generations that come. So let's give a round of applause for all of ourselves here. So I think everybody should be in this photograph. So start coming up here now, and we'll figure out how to arrange people.
All right, how about everybody, let's move to the risers there. And I would like to thank everybody on stage for coming today. I'd like to thank all of you for coming down. I appreciate it. You can have pictures and autographs out in the lobby afterwards with Walter and Billy and all of the other guys also. And we are also going to have the official letter of intent signing in our arena upstairs for Dustin. So everybody, parents, brothers, sisters, everybody come up. Walter likes to have the picture of the entire group, including you, Dr. Knoll. Nice try. Dr. Knoll, Josh Watson. I know, Billy's calling for everybody still sitting there. Come on up. There we go, there we go. More coming. Come on, Coach. I'm with John. We'll come up to this corner here.
We're just going to stand right here, right? Yeah, John's going to hide me.
I think this is a little bit bigger than last year.
Come on, let's go!
All right. Thank you. So you can have pictures out in the lobby there, look at some of their Guinness awards, and everybody is invited upstairs. Some of our esports kids can show you where to go if you wish to come up for the letter signing. Jesse Garchik, can you please come up with the camera? Oh, here she comes right here.